Okay, so I'm going to just open up a little PowerPoint again. Okay, so before we do a quiz, yeah, I'm going to talk about what we're similar to and what we're different to. So Maria already spoke about the fact that we might be similar, maybe to a brother or sister. We might be different in some aspects from people in our class. But have you ever heard, this is good given that my cat has just made an appearance, have you ever heard the expression that dogs sometimes look like their owners? So you sometimes see a dog in the park and it may look quite like its owner. Now that is just random chance. I don't think there's any truth actually in that fact. But when you think about it, actually humans and animals do share some things in common. So for example, humans have hands and dogs have paws. Humans and dogs have eyes and ears, things like that. So we do share things with other creatures. Now, why is that? Why we're completely different species? Why do we share similar things? Well, the reason is that we actually share some genes in common with other species. So, if you remember, Maria said, if I was in person, I would ask you what this number is, but I'll try and remember. It's 3.3 billion letters. So that is the number of letters there are in our whole DNA. And as Maria said, if you look closely at the book, they're just made up of A, G, T, and C. So there's only those 4 letters, but there's 3.3 billion of them make us up. Well, if you think a bit more about the fact that we're quite like a book, our DNA is like a book, actually, the letters are split up into chapters. So if you think about different chapters in a book, in some ways, they are quite like what our genes are. So if you think humans maybe have between 20 and 30,000 genes, some of those genes we will actually share with other creatures, other animals. So there may be genes that cause us to develop hands when we are developing in the mother's womb. And there may be a similar gene, a similar chapter in the book that makes a dog, for example, develop a paw. So that's how I like to think about it. And when we think about how many genes we share with things, dogs and cats, I can see it's quite obvious we share some things with them. But did you know that we actually share 50% of our genes, scientists think, with a banana? So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little quiz now and we're going to see if you can beat the professor. We are going to do a quiz to see how much we share with people. Okay, so now you can let me know if you're able to join this. What I want you to do, if you can, is open a tab in your computer. Now, Mrs. Taylor, I think I muted you while Maria was speaking. So if you want to unmute, if you've got any questions about how to get on. But basically what we'd like you to do is, as a class, go to joinmyquiz.com. If you enter the game code 125721. The quiz is called How Much Do We Share With? Okay, oh good, so we've got 5, perfect. What I'll do is I'll mute you again just in case you want to discuss the answer in your class, and then there's 30 seconds before you have to answer, so you can take a half a minute to decide. The right answer was 90. What? 90?
I guess one thing that might be confusing is that when we're looking at DNA, just the letters in the DNA, they can be different without changing the fact that that gene is there, but the gene is a bit different. So we can share genes without sharing so much of the DNA sequence. Okay, so that's slightly confusing, I guess, and we should have explained that a bit better. So that's maybe one of the reasons you got not the right answer there. But yeah, so when I was talking about how much we might share with brothers and sisters, I was talking about the actual definite letters, whereas Leah's talking about the same chapters being there, even though some of the letters in the chapter might be a bit different, and it tells the same story, but with different words and different letters, perhaps. So I think that was maybe confusing you a wee bit there. So sorry about that.
Right, we'll try the next question.
We'll try the next one? Yeah.
Okay, here we go. No, it's 30 seconds, so I don't know if you just want to pick somebody to answer. How much do we share with a grape? Okay, so percentage we share with a grape is...
The one I chose.
Oh, you got it right. 24%. Well done to whoever got that right. Right, next.
Okay. What percentage of our genes do we share with a bee? Okay, there's three reports. So we're most going for that, right? Incorrect.
So how much do we share with a bee?
It was 44.
Oh. We've got another couple of animals. So the next question, how much do we share with a... Oh.
This is a very difficult question.
Okay, is everybody voted? Anybody else still to vote?
No. Oh, wrong again. It's 98.
Oh, well done. Whoever got 98. Okay.
Right, next one. Let's get this one right. What percentage of our genes do we share with other humans?
Remember, this is genes, this is chapters in the book.
This is chapters in the book, yeah, not letters. Chapters in the book. How many of them?
25%. Do you want to retake that answer? Have a listen. If we share 98% of our genes with a gorilla, how much do we share with other people?
Great, well done. Lots of people got that right. Okay.
Okay, next question.
Now this is the letters we share. We know we share 100 of our genes, 100% of genes, but how much of the letters do we share with our mum?
What percentage of genetic material do we share with our mum?
Yeah, get it right. Well done. Woo. Well done. 50. Okay, a couple more questions.
Keep paying attention, boys and girls. What percentage of genetic material do identical twins share?
It was 100. Okay, well done. Right, another question. Here's some cousins in a picture. Harry and William are brothers and their children are cousins. Yeah, is everybody voted there? Yep. Here we go.
Incorrect.
Okay, so 2 more questions to go.
2 questions, 24 hours. 2 left.
We're back to some animals. We're back to some genes this time. Chapters in the book. Just to finish off, we're going to do another one like this.
With a mouse.
Here we go. Okay, the 88%. Well, here we got that. Last question.
Let's get this one right.
Oh, which of these facts surprised you the most?
The last one. Oh, so which one? Great. Mom.
Great. Okay, so it was the grape for you guys then. Okay, there we go. Let's just finish the quiz. Well done. You definitely seemed to do well on what was quite a hard quiz. So well done, everybody.
Lots of budding geneticists out there, I think.
Maria, are you?
Yeah, I'm just going to very quickly, just to revise what we just told you. I'm going to use this family, who I'm sure you all know. What's this family called? What's their name? Shout out.
Weasleys.
Yes. Okay, so we can draw pedigrees like this to show the family relationships, like mum and dad at the top. Dad is a square and mum's a circle. So boys are squares and girls are circles. There's only one little girl here, Ginny. So how much DNA do Percy and Ron share? Shout out. Okay, so brothers and sisters share half their DNA. And so Bill and Ginny share how much? 50%, half their DNA. And then what about identical twins, Fred and George? All their DNA, yeah, 100%. Whoops, there we go. And what about Ron and his mum? How much do they share? Yeah, 50%.
Well done.
And what about Ron and his dad? Yeah, 50%. So they all have red hair. So as I told you earlier today, that's a genetic trait. So that's why they've all got red hair, because it's in their genes. But what else have they all got? Can you think of another trait they've all got? What other characteristic do all these people share? Maybe eye color, but can you think of something else that in the books and the stories about this family, what can they all do?
So some of them are saying magic.
Yeah, they're all wizards and witches, so perhaps that's genetic too. Okay, so that's a little bit of revision of genetics in a family.
So Ed, you wanted to finish off?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much to Leah and Maria for that fascinating and fun session, and to another of my colleagues, Dr. Saida Bhatti, for organising it. That was quite a tricky quiz, especially the questions about the grapes, the bananas and the gorillas. And well done for getting so many answers right, especially about the Weasley family. If you want to see more, as I mentioned, some documents, including web links, have been placed for you in a folder. And some of the pupils might perhaps be interested to study genetics or some other fascinating area of science or medicine in the future after they leave school, and then perhaps work, for example, as a laboratory scientist or as a doctor. Anyway, that's something to think about in the future, of course. So thanks again to you all for joining us and for taking part. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
What do you have to say? What do you have to say? Thank you so much. That was really interesting. And I
Good.
think there are quite a few budding scientists in our class.